What's up, everybody? Let me just get my camera situated here. I know, I'm very low tech, low key here. Welcome everybody. Chicago Joe here, coming to you with another quick episode. I hope this is not another 40-minute episode. I'm trying to shorten these up. I know some people, if they don't like how I talk or they don't like what I have to offer, then they're not going to watch 40 minutes. So trying to shorten these up a bit, but we do have a lot to cover today. So, first things first, my videos are always going to be. Oh my, we just got an alert for the Cubs. We'll get to that. But um, my videos are always going to be the hot topic first. I always want people, if you want to just show up and watch the one topic that you care about the one team you care about, then we'll do that first and then stick around for the rest if you want. Right now, at this point, I want views no matter how they are. Some of these big people that have lots of subscribers care about how long you watch a video and don't leave early, but that's not me. If you're watching, and I appreciate it. So hit that like, subscribe button, view my other videos, do what you will. But let's get into it. Chicago Bulls. So I've been talking a lot about the roster, talking a little bit about Thiago Splitter coming in as a coach and what Bryson Graham's going to do. Well, we've got the first two first-round picks in tonight. But before we get to that, let's have a quick little chat about. So the Bulls actually did make a trade. They actually sent Mo Guy away, which he was a nobody on the team. Sorry, no disrespect to him, but he wasn't really a big piece of our puzzle. But sent him away within a three-team trade between the Nets and the Timberwolves. Timberwolves were trying to get rid of Julius Randle. They sent him to the Nets. Basically, they're trying to make room to sign a over $100 million contract for Io DeSumnu. So Bulls fans are very aware of him. I was a big fan of his. It was sad to see him go, but that's kind of a lot of money that the Wolves are about to pay him to be a guard on that team. Probably well deserved. I like the guy a lot. He was a big part of our family for a while. So by our family, I mean the Bulls family. So um, I'm glad he's getting his bag. But so basically, they needed to make a cap space, but the Nets also had to make some cap space, and in it they sent us Nick Claxton. So Nick Claxton is a 6'10", traditional center type. One thing he does that the Bulls have needed for a long, long time, and it's been a while since we've had it, but he's going to bring that rim protector mentality to the center of he's pretty much going to be our starting center. He is a defensive monster. He's 6'10". His wingspan is over 12 foot. He is just a lengthy, long type of player. So when you look at that, and we'll, after I get through all this, when all the draft picks, we'll go over a full, like, what does this roster look like now that we've had a few draft picks. But basically, he's just a long rim protector. He does have some offense, but rebounds, assists. He does a little bit of everything, but for the most part, he's that guy. If your far guards let somebody slash through, he is that guy that's going to be there to protect the rim. And it's been a while since we've had that, so that's a very welcome addition. He's not a 3-point shooter. He's not going to space the floor. He's not going to run the floor necessarily. He's athletic. He's long, and he plays defense. And we'll talk more about what the potential strategy for this front office is going into next season. So we basically got him for nothing. I mean, we sent away a nobody, and we were just that was our goal, was just to take on that cap space that other teams did not want to pay for. So we basically it's a free ride. He is going to be making 23 million next year, which 23.3 million. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's basically putting us out of the Walker Kessler sweepstakes. So basically we went a different route for our starting center, and we're not going to have any cap room left if we went out and got another center. So that's it. Nick Claxton is going to be your starting center next year, barring anything else crazy that happens. So he's your rim protector. Not really going to fit the mold of a guy who can space the floor. I'm sure he's athletic, but I mean, it's going to be a little bit different of an atmosphere down low for us, which is really great. It's going to bolster our defense. So let's get into it. Bulls had a number 4 pick in the draft. To nobody's surprise, we picked Caleb Wilson with that pick. Caleb comes to us from North Carolina. He is going to be that dog mentality, that high energy, athletic. He's long, he's big, he's 6'10" as well. So we'll talk about roster construction, like I said, but Caleb's a good pick. I think he was the best pick at that spot. Darren Peterson wasn't there. Boozer was, but Boozer didn't really fit the mold. I think Caleb Wilson is going to fit that mold a lot better. I'm going to be excited to see what he has down low. Now, with Caleb Wilson, we're talking a rebounder, we're talking high energy, we're talking athletic and lengthy. But one thing we're not talking about is a lot of offense. He's got a lot of work to do on his shot. He shot pretty atrocious last year. He's not going to pop a jumper from outside, even when he did. It's very sporadic, but I think he hit like 27 to 30%. It was something just terrible from outside. So he's not going to be fitting the mold of an outside type guy, but it's clear with Claxton and Caleb Wilson now probably going to be our starter down low that this team is certainly looking to have guys that can cover multiple positions, have guys who are athletic enough to get outside and play defense out in the perimeter, which is something you're going to need in this league. I mean, Wembanyama is a big part of that. You look at Chet Holmgren from OKC, you know, all these teams have at least a couple guys who can not only guard down low and not get pushed around, but can go out there and get something out on the perimeter. Um, so we got that. With the 15th pick, there was some talk about them possibly finding some way to trade up and get two blue chip guys, but they ended up staying put. They went with Dalen Swain from Texas. So this guy, he was originally at Xavier for 2 years and followed Sean Miller to Texas. He was the SEC newcomer of the year at Texas. He was a very good player. He was the only Power Five player to lead his team in scoring, rebounds, and assists. So he did a little bit of everything and was a big reason why Texas was. They weren't the most dangerous team this year, but they basically turned some heads, and some people think that this is going to be a team to watch in the next few years, and he's a big reason why. Now, what what is Dalen? I mean, if you haven't guessed it by now, he's a defensive player with a lot of length, a lot of athleticism, and he can play defense. He can do a little bit of it all. He can score. He scores at the basket, but one thing he doesn't do is he doesn't shoot. He's not going to be spacing the floor for us. Um, so that's kind of his pedigree. Is he's going to be a defensive minded, lengthy guy. This Bulls team is going to be tall. It's going to be lengthy, and it's going to be athletic. And that was exactly what Bryson Graham promised us when he came in, and that's what he's given Splitter to work with, which Splitter has a pedigree for developing front court players. So you're talking front court. I mean, he's got some big, lengthy guys he can not only put in good position, but they're defensive minded. It'll work for him. But that's what we did with our second pick. Now, we do have a second round pick. We might even have two, but I'm not really interested. Those are always just trade fodder or some guy who's going to be on the bench and get released after his first contract. Every once in a while, you get somebody in the second round who's worth a dang, but I it's a I mean, you got about like a 10 to 20% chance of landing big on a second round guy who turns into a star. So what do we have with the Bulls right now? So we a potential lineup. We've got Giddy, of course. We got Buzelis. He's going to be locked in at the three. Caleb Wilson's probably going to be your starter at four, and then you got Noah Senge. He's gonna be part of that mix as well. He's also a lengthy, tall, big man center. And then you got Nick Claxton who can play there as well. So you've got a lot of length and size. You've got a defensive team. We're gonna smother the heck out of some people next year. My big issue though is this team cannot shoot threes. I mean, Bucelis was, I think he was 34.2% last year from three, which is doable if you're a volume shooting team. That's doable. Um, Giddy's no better. So you're basically saying like I don't know if Simons and Sexton are going to be on the team once free agency hits, or even I think Dillingham is still under contract for a year, but I don't know where we're going to get our outside shooting from. This team just doesn't have any outside shooting, and the philosophy has always been that you can't teach a guy to grow 6 inches and suddenly learn to play defense and be lengthy. Like I guess the philosophy here with this front office is that you bring in a guy who's lengthy, who can play defense, and then you teach him to shoot. The issue I take with that is, first of all, what happens if these guys never learn to shoot? Some of these guys are just not going to be shooters. The other thing is Tiago Splitter does not have a good, solid reputation of developing shooters. He develops big men, and he does it really well. But basically, the mantra is like they better bring in some sort of doctor slash guru of shot making ability to come in and teach some of these guys how to shoot. So I could see guys like Anthony Simons and Colin Sexton to be let go and kind of be swapped out for some other free agents that might be a lot better at shooting. That's the biggest need of this team now. I'm gonna get very upset with the Bulls if they turn into a defensive powerhouse who can't score. I mean, we've spent so many years with this team being able to score, being able to run the court and get up to 120 points, but then they give up 140 and the defense is just not there. I lived through the Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan years where they couldn't defend anybody, but they could score the ball. And now here we are in a potential situation where we're going to be able to smother teams. We're going to be great at defense, and it's going to work. Offensively, Splitter is going to be very good at getting guys into position and open shots, but those don't matter if a guy like Caleb Wilson or Dalen Swain or whoever it is can't hit those open shots. So I think we're going to be a drive it, slash it to the basket type team, and I, I don't know. In this day and age, 3-point shooting's everything. I mean, the Knicks were kind of an exception to the rule, but they could still shoot threes. They had guys who could shoot, and I just don't see anyone on this team who's gonna have that pedigree to be able to knock down long range jumpers and space the floor. And so teams are gonna collapse on us and try to smother out our big men and our 3, 4, and 5 spots. So it's something to watch. It's a very large concern I have. So we'll see what they do when free agency hits, and maybe they make some more trades. Maybe they get rid of someone like Giddey and bring in a point guard who can shoot. I don't know what they do, but we're gonna keep our eye on it. I don't have any more Bulls information for you now, but as of right now, this team, I like where they're going with it. I like the base that they're building, but right now they're not a shooting team. They don't have the pedigree of a team who's going to compete next year. I just don't see it, and their cap space is limited. They've only got 25 million left, so they're not going out and signing a superstar this next year. So um, we'll see where they're at after that. But I don't see this being a huge deal. So moving on, Bears. Secondly, so last I reported, I told you I trust Adam Schefter and all of his sources. I'm never gonna not take stock in what he says. And he reported that Indiana was a done deal because the Chicago board of directors or the Bears board of directors voted to move the team to Hammond, Indiana. We've been down this route before. Then I reported that there's no permits filed and that the location is very much in question if it could even work. And then I'm hearing that was it Portage and some other towns around Hammond are upset because there's new taxes being added on to hotels, restaurants, and everything to help pay for the stadium because that money's got to come from somewhere, and Indiana might be paying for it, but they've got to pay for it somehow. And there's new taxing districts, and now other towns are getting upset because they're saying, "Well, we don't have the Bears, but you're telling us we have to pay these new taxes because we're going to quote unquote benefit from this." So now there's actually internal fights in Indiana about whether or not this Hammond Bears deal and how good it is, and some of these cities are not happy. So given all that, I decided to do a little research, and it looks as though the Bears have actually been in contact with legislators in Springfield about a possible deal. And I guess one of the things that Pritzker was very upset about is he said the Bears never gave a clear indication of what they wanted. They just said, "You guys got to do something for us, or we're leaving." And so he basically came in and said, "Well, tell us what you want. Tell us exactly what you need, and we'll see if we can do it." And they've been actually negotiating on the Bears have given a list and like here's some specifics of what we actually want. Given that, there's also two other cities, and I didn't even look into who they are because I don't think they're ever going to be in consideration. But now there's other Illinois cities that are saying, well, if taxes are your big draw, I mean, if we're outside of Cook County, let's start talking. Let's start talking what taxes are like. I mean, we can make that happen without the state even intervening. But the bottom line is that Illinois is not a done. It's not dead in the water yet. Bear Stadium could still be in Arlington Heights, and there are conversations going on. And There was even a joint statement by both Pritzker and the speaker, I think it was. I don't know any names or anybody in Illinois politics anymore, but there was actually a statement saying that if the bearers and the legislators were able to come to a deal on what exactly they need, and both sides agreed and said it's a done deal, that they would call a special session to vote on it. So they said they will not call a special session to debate it. It's out of the question. But if they can come to a deal and the Bears would agree to it and say, okay, that's good enough, we'll make Arlington Heights happen, they've done enough, then they will call the special session and make it happen before the fall even hits. And so, you know, I was going to take a positive attitude. You guys know what I said. I said I'm going to be a Bears fan no matter what, as long as they don't change their name to the Hammond Bears or anything like that. But I said I'm going to be a fan no matter what. But Arlington Heights was always kind of like I'd rather they stay on the lakefront. That's such a unique lakefront stadium with the city in the background. I mean, Arlington Heights doesn't have that. But you know what? I like Arlington Heights. That's probably one of the towns I would consider living in if I ever moved back. So I kind of always wanted that. I kind of always thought there's no way they pumped hundreds of millions of dollars into this property to not see it through. So I think the whole Chicago Bears board of directors voting on the move to Hammond was always designed to get Pritzker's attention and say, hey, like, we're doing this now. You guys failed to do it, but it was always designed to get a special session. That was, and they knew they had to put some pressure on it because it costs money to get everybody to travel back and pay them for a special session. So it's costing taxpayers money to. So I don't agree with Pritzker much, but I agree with him on this one. Like, if they come back, they're gonna have to have a deal in place. It can't be come back, debate it for a week, and get nothing accomplished. It's got to be a done deal. But we're going to be monitoring this because this is no longer a Hammond, Indiana Bears is a done deal type situation. You know, there's negotiations happening. There's other cities popping up. So it's kind of an odd situation. I think Indiana's always been leveraged, and poor Indiana, like, they've rolled out the red carpet. They've done all the legwork. And I start to wonder if they were ever a serious consideration. Like, I know they gave the Bears enough of a deal that you have to take it seriously, but I don't know if this was ever going to be anything but Arlington Heights. So we'll keep you posted on that as it gets closer and we hear more. Maybe they make a deal and they call a special session. We'll report on that. We'll have something on that. Moving on, Blackhawks. So the mantra that I've always held with the Blackhawks is I'm so sick of getting excited about top 5 picks. I'm done. I've had enough of it. It's time they start winning. I penciled in 2027 as the year that they were supposed to be competitive, the year they were supposed to realize the prime of all this talent they were going to pull in. This was the year Connor Bedard was supposed to just be unquestionably one of the top players in the NHL, and he's clearly one of the most talented out there. And so I said, okay, everyone said, well, we got the 4th pick. Yeah. And I was like, no, I don't want the 4th pick. I don't want it. It's time to start making moves. It's time to start winning. Maybe I should have been careful what I'm asking for, because the Blackhawks just tonight just announced a deal. They are trading away the 4th pick, and I think there was the 25th pick, to the Sabres for left defenseman Bowen Byram. Now, y'all have to forgive me. With the names and the players and everything in the NHL, I'm not as in tune as I need to be. But I looked him up. This is a very, very risky deal. I mean, the Blackhawks had a very serious need for defense. I mean, they could score last year, but they could not hold anyone, stop anyone from scoring. Like, I saw them take 5-0 leads a couple times, and I said, okay, well, you got 2 periods ago. This game is nowhere near over. And so much needed defensive help. This guy is a star. He's an offensive-minded defenseman who is a top 4. He's playing 22 minutes a game, which is ridiculous. This guy is a workhorse. I like him. I think it's a great pickup. However, we gave up the number 4 pick in the draft for this guy, which is probably justified. He's probably good enough to warrant that. However, his contract is up next year. He comes with over a $6 million cap hit this year, and his contract's up next year, and who knows what he's going to try and negotiate when his contract is up. So there's a very real possibility that this situation ends up with us giving up the big time draft picks for a 1 year rental. Certainly, I don't think Davidson would be doing that. I mean, I don't think Davidson's trying to do that. I think if he made this deal, he pretty much said that guy's a defenseman of the future and anchor of our defense. He could be. He's going to go with Vlasic and Korchinski, and Levshinov is showing promise. So it's possible that this could be the final piece of our four-man top four rotation for defense, which I think it's great that we have that, but we did give up a lot. So this is a gamble. It's a swing, and I guess I said I'm sick of the number four pick. We got to make it happen. And this is their attempt to make it happen. So I'm going to go into this with an open mind, but this is a very big gamble. It's not like we trade away the number four pick for a legitimate up and comer. I mean, he's a younger guy, but I mean, I'm a little worried that this guy's a 1 year rental and we gave up the number four pick for it. So I guess put your money where your mouth is. I said I want them to make moves and compete right now. That's what they're trying to do. We also got Jordan Greenway. He is a winger, very big bruiser type guy, 6'6", like 200, 250 plus. I mean, this guy's a monster, and he's going to be the protector. He's going to be the bruiser, the much needed enforcer that we don't have. The other thing, and I don't remember which one it was, but one of these guys, I think Greenway, he's had some concussion issues, so we're going to see what that's all about. I think maybe that might have been Byram. One of these guys has concussion issues in the past, so we're going to keep our eye on how healthy they are as well and how that plays into do we renew this guy. But I mean, there's a lot of gambles here being made, but they're making some moves, so we're going to see. It looks like they might be thinking it's time to start winning, and we got to start pulling in some veterans who know how to play to go with this young core and see how they mesh and start giving it a shot. So I'm excited. Let's see if we can turn this into a consistent winner versus just a rebuilding era. So maybe a new era of Blackhawks to come. I think we're trying to turn the corner now. Lastly, let's talk Cubs. Cubs are 7-3 in their last 10 games. That is trending higher than any other team in the Central right now. They are 7.5 games back from first. They are only a game and a half back from second place and overtaking the Cardinals. They're back on track. PCA is playing MVP level ball. He's earning his money. I don't think we're getting Justin Steele back anytime soon. I still think that's an after All-Star break thing. As I was making this video, which I make on my iPhone, I got an alert that came in, and you saw me stutter on it in the beginning, but it looks like Edward Cabrera is headed to the injured list. I didn't see how long it was for, but that's not good. That's one of our stable pitchers that we've been relying on, and once again, more starting pitching coming off the board. So, the Cubs they continue, like they won 9-6 tonight. That's cool. If we can score 9 runs every night, I'll be happy, and we'll win most of our games. But what happens when we don't? We're giving up 6 runs. That's this team continues to be so streaky, and they're so good right now when they're scoring runs, but that's can so quickly fall away when you don't have the pitching to back it up, and our bullpen is just not making the cut, giving up 8 runs in 2 innings, even at some point. So we'll continue to check in on the Cubs. We're continuing to track them. They are trending in the right direction, but we've seen them go on 2 10-game win streaks this year and then go on one of the worst month streaks I've ever seen. So we'll continue to ride these waves up and down. I'm with them the whole way, but we need to get some pitching back. So thanks everyone for watching. We're going to cut it off right there. Once we get some more news or something else goes on later in this week, we'll be back at you. Thank you.